Hey everybody, this is John, and I operate the Realsuddenlike YouTube channel. And if you're tuning in with this on either Periscope or finding this on my YouTube channel, this represents a significant change in how I typically do things. Normally I'll make a video and I'll record it and then I'll edit it together and get rid of the crap. But today this is just going to be a Periscope only video. So I'm going to do my best to try to install a replacement to this floodlight, which is motion detecting, or at least once was, and hopefully I'll talk you through it. This was a halogen bulb which has a slightly lower lifespan, but the truth is that the bulb tests out fine. Something's wrong with the fixture, probably this replacement motion detecting eye. When I went to the Home Depot and priced it out, ended up finding this guy. Hey, when I ended up finding this guy, and I got it for $25 at the Home Depot, and that motion detecting replacement was about 20 bucks. So I thought I could make an upgrade to a 2-bulb fixture. I could go LED at the same time, and I could solve the dilemma of one day having to replace that halogen bulb while getting a working one down. So what I've done is I've made sure that the electricity is off to this unit. I've turned it off, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start uninstalling it and putting a new one in. Okay, come with me. I've got a small step stool because I'm short, and all I have is a really plain screwdriver. There are 2 fixture sockets right here, 2 screws on the fixture right here, and so I'm going to just undo them. It's a really awesome day right now in Georgia. Really enjoying the weather, looking for an excuse to be outside, even though I have other chores that are inside. But the truth is that I have a chore outside to do too, so I'm just trying to get a lot of them done. All right. So that has come out. And this is really a pretty easy process, pretty painless. I have checked electricity. There's no electricity here. So what you'll notice is that I've got 3 lines run in. I've got one right here, the white, and then I have a ground. The white is typically hot, and then all I have to do is undo them. These are standard electrical caps, so I'm just going to twist them off. And I am auto-saving this, so whenever I'm done with the video, I'm going to go ahead and post this on my YouTube channel. Hold on a second, I'm going to zoom in just a bit so you can see it. And I'm going to tilt the camera back. There we go. You can see those electrical caps. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them straight off by twisting them counterclockwise, and they come loose. Same thing here. Now the dilemma with this is this one has already come loose, that one is loose now, and this is the ground, and the electrical caps are what's holding it in place. So let me go get the other one. Oh, by the way, so this guy has been on here now for about 5 years. It has really done a great job. I think I got my money's worth out of it. So now I have this new unit, right, with the motion detecting eye down here, the 2 light fixtures that we'll adjust. If you flip over the back, you got a similar setup, right? I've got a white, a green, and a black. You can tell that this is a better fixture because the green, which is the ground, is insulated versus being bare copper, so that's nice. Probably because this looks like aluminum wire though. So we're going to put on the gasket like it was what was on the other one. And then we're going to get new caps. Hey, EVAV W2017, how's it going? Great. So we're going to just put this together in a similar way. I'm digging out all my stuff so that way there's no confusion about what goes where. I'm breaking out the new wire caps because there's no point in not using new ones. The only difference is this guy only has one mounting screw. So we've got one new thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have to put the mounting bracket down first before doing this labor. So bear with me for a moment. So I'm going to use the mounting bracket, which is this metal piece here with 2 screws, and they're going to fit in the 2 sockets. Barely, but yes. So all I'm going to do is put those together now. And I'm going to fix this guy in. I'm going to kind of let the wire come off to the side here. And I'm not going to force it. And over here, I'm now going to mount this guy. And you'll notice that this metal bracket, since if you buy it at the Home Depot, I mean, these are really meant for do-it-yourselfers like me. There's one that says front. So I'm going to mount it on here, and I'm going to position that hole so the center screw, which is going to hold my light in place, can go into my recess on the light fixture. This is pretty straightforward. I know you can't see it very well from my arms, but take it from me. All I'm really doing is screwing this into place, and I'm gonna try to get it in. I'm not going to get it in too tight because it doesn't have to be. All it's going to be doing is holding the lamp against the side of the house. That's in place now. All right, now here is this gasket that comes as a part of the package. And there are an awful lot of wires that are coming out of this thing. What you have to know is that if you can get these 3, which are the primary 3, kind of out where you can get to them, orient your light kind of the way you want it to be. So I want my light to look like this. So when I flip it around to the back, I've got these lines coming out of the side. I'm going to slip them through one edge of this gasket. And now all I'm going to do, hey, Emmy Sutderry, and now all I'm going to do is kind of going to push that down over the top of it. That's all that we're really doing here, and this lines up pretty nicely with the mounting bracket. See, there's even a little hole right there, a little divot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the connections up here with my lines and the ones that are coming out of the house. I've got my 3 new wire caps. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to make the ground. The ground coming out of the house is this completely exposed copper. So all I'm going to do, the pocket's handy right about now, is I'm going to take my line, I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to put this together with the exposed copper of the ground, and I'm going to twist it over. I'm going to put my cap on and just twist it until it gets kind of hard and you can see the 2 kind of twisting together. Alright. I am now going to take the white. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a second, kind of twist that around so my line is neat and tidy. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to mate it with the hot here. And because I know the electricity is off, this is safe. If I did not know that, this would be a poor choice. Now I'm going to take my cap. I'm going to twist those back together for a little bit. And I'm going to put my cap back on. And what the cap is doing on the inside, there are threads that are latching on to that insulation and to that wiring and that are holding it. If you notice, it doesn't take much. You can actually support the weight of the fixture. All right, well, I've got one more. I've got the power. I've got the other part of the electricity, the black. And I'm going to twist it together, and I am now going to put the cap on those. Just isn't so bad, is it? All right. So what I've got now is I've got those three mated together. My light fixture is kind of dangling. I'm going to want the motion detector to be down with the light fixtures up, which we can readjust here in a little bit. All right, now I'm going to go get the mounting screw, which is this guy. It's a long screw, and it's meant to go all the way through and then mount into this center post. So if I'm looking at my fixture, let's see if I can move this around a little bit. We can all see it. There's the center hole right there. That is where that screw goes through. And we can see it working out right there. There's the screw. My gasket is going to push everything down, but there's a screw hole in that gasket that my screw can kind of pop out. I'm going to rearrange my fixture the way I had it originally. I'm going to feed as much of this back into the wall recess, this excess electrical line. I'm going to feed it back in while I can, because it's going to get hard if I don't do that in a bit. Remember that bare copper is just exposed for the sake of being a ground. Well, that isn't going in super easily. Ah, the joys of live video. There is some space behind this fixture, so I'm going to keep pushing the extra in. This is a lot easier without that metal bracket. That is for certain. And it's okay if this takes a little bit. What I'm trying to do is regain space behind here with the space that is already in the wall. Oops, 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 oops. Oh, and I've got to redo this. I totally lost my screw coming through. You gotta love live video, folks. Can't make this up. So coming back through, threaded the screw through my little thing there. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to work the gasket to the outside of these connections, right? And so now I'm going to let there be some space for all of this. I'm going to let it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the gasket serve the purpose of fixing this space, and I am going to let the screw cinch up everything as much as possible to hide it back in. We're going to try something else first. Hold on a minute, folks. I'm going to loosen my bracket. I'm going to work it up for a second. I'm going to push those pieces back in there if I can. Let's see if I can get these wire nuts back in here. Ah, look at that. Now I'm just gonna work that wiring up one at a time, so that way more of it is hidden back into the recess of the receptacle. And it's okay to push it because it's not going anywhere. Ooh, that ground came undone. I guess I didn't have that one done too well though, did I? So I'm remaking the ground. Alright, so let's give this another go. I'm going to push that back. I'm going to guide the black in. Now I'm going to guide the white in. And now I'm going to guide the ground in. And I'm going to now let this come back in here. And I'm going to remake my outside brace. I'm going to guide that loose ground back in that spot. Okay. And now I've got all of those wire nuts hidden back in the recess of the fixture. And now I'm going to do this one more time where I push my screw through the gasket into this piece, and now my screw will try to push the connection there on the fixture in, and now I'm going to make my screw in there, and I'm going to start to cinch this guy in. Ooh, that took a little bit of work. Okay, now we can see it coming in. Slowly and surely. I'm going to make sure that all the wires are tucked back in there. And even though we're on a little overhang, it's in pretty good shape. Now I'm going to zoom back out for just a minute. And then just move the tripod a little closer. All right. So I'm cinching this guy back down. Okay. And it's back here. We've made it. We have a connection. Now we have two cones, one for each of these. And this is really, really easy. There are grooves for each one of these to fit in, and all you have to do is find the spot where it slides in and twist them and they'll lock in place. That's pretty cool. This is the outside light, so I'm going to go ahead and move it a little bit over here. This light is kind of on the top, so I'm going to get a little distance out right in here. I'm going to try to shine down. I've got a door right on this side of this fixture. So I'm going to do it to kind of get right through here, right down into the yard. And this one is going to serve the purpose of kind of illuminating the space near. I guess a hint would have been to have adjusted the direction first and then put that globe on. Here's the other one. It may not fit, but I think it will. There we go. There's that. And I want the motion eye to be kind of right down in here. So I've got the corner coming in right here. I want it to kind of split the difference and have any motion right here on the door to be pretty consistent. And there, all I have to do is turn that little back piece and it'll lock it in place pretty nicely. So there we have it. I've got those done. All that really remains is to put the light fixtures in, is to put the light bulbs in. And I chose to pick up 2 LED bulbs that are meant to be indoor-outdoor. They will probably outlast the receptacle. They have like a 18-year expected lifespan. So I'm putting these in. The good thing about these is, like, unlike the halogen bulbs, you don't run the risk of ruining the bulb by touching the exterior glass. And that's something to be pretty thankful for. This guy is here. I'm going to take a second and set it. If I look down at the distance, I want the range to be fairly close. I don't really want it to come on and off all the time. I'm going to have a dual bright, and the on time is going to be for about a minute when it comes on. The lamp mode will be normal, and so we're going to have a good setting right there. And that's pretty much it. So we've got it. The only thing I haven't done is test it to see if it works. So if you'll bear with me a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the tripod with the camera back. I'm going to angle it a little bit more. I'm going to go in and see if it works. We're going to put it in test mode since it's daytime. And there we go. It's going through a test cycle. It works. We have electricity. How cool is that? All right. Well, everybody, thanks for taking time to watch the Periscope broadcast. This will be posted on my YouTube channel probably in just a little bit. Thanks. Bye.